Coach, I'll let you open it up, and then we'll take some questions.
Sure. Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody that braved the weather tonight. Hokie Nation showed up, and it was a fantastic sight. I know it was kind of iffy on the rain and the thunder and lightning, but as expected and as the Hokie Nation's been known to do, they certainly showed up today, and it was really cool. I thought we got good work in, through the entire spring. Just thinking back and kind of reflecting on our 15 practices and the work we got in, I was really proud of the way our guys continued to battle through sort of the dog days of practicing, of 15 spring practices, and didn't really have a huge drop-off on any one of those practices. As far as today, it was about kind of what we expected. Obviously, you guys and gals know we were down quite a few guys. I mean, I think there's 20 maybe guys that weren't out there. So, that leads to it being a little bit abbreviated maybe, as you can understand. And we're still trying to kind of figure out where guys fit in and all that sort of stuff. Caleb made a few plays today, and just so y'all know, I mean, he started the spring at corner and went through, I don't know the exact numbers, but most of the spring at corner. The last handful of practices, we've put him out there at wide out. That's why I see Coach Wiggins kind of trailing him around, because we just want to see him go play a little bit. I think I know how that's all going to work out, but Caleb and I haven't talked about any of that yet. So through our player evaluations, as we talk as a staff, obviously we'll come up with what we're going to do with him moving forward. The thing I will say is he's been fantastic in terms of being willing to learn new things and try new things. But we will settle down and kind of get things solidified as we go through our evaluations here the next couple days.
Raise your hands. We'll get you a mic.
Coach, I think we had Hendon as 8 for 8 in the first half. What has his development been like? How quickly has he picked up the offense, and how happy are you with the progress he's made?
Well, I like all our guys. I think they're continuing to pick up what we're doing. Hendon, has done a good job. Even when you talk to him, I think he'll say that he's got a long way to go, continuing to learn what to do and handling situations and all those sorts of things. But, I've been pleased with all of our guys in terms of picking up what we're trying to do. That hasn't been a huge issue for any of them. Continuing to have us be more consistent, is the key.
I know we've talked to you in the past about how much stock you put in a single game like this. What do you take away from the quarterbacks in one practice like this?
Well, we look at it as a whole. I mean, it is good. There is value in what we did today, or we wouldn't do it. It is an important day. It's important for our fans, and it's important for our team and our development to get out and play in front of people and try and create a little bit of an environment there. What I take away is we have a lot of work to do. I mean, this is a long process to get ready for our first game, and we've got a lot of work to do in all areas. There's going to be a batch of freshmen come in the summertime that we're going to have to get up to speed and get ready to go.
Dalton Keene looked like he gave you some versatility, at least as an H-back type role today. Were you impressed with what you saw with him today?
Yeah, he's had a good spring. I mean, really, to be that position is not as difficult mentally as quarterback, but it's probably the second most. And to have a true freshman come in and pick it up and be able to line up in different spots and do some things combined with some good athletic ability, I think he had a really, really good spring, and I was really pleased with him.
Coach, there were multiple instances today where guys helped your quarterbacks out with plays. Farley did a couple, Patterson had a couple. Is that sort of what you're talking about when you say we're more worried about the supporting cast than our quarterbacks at this point?
Yeah, I think, correct. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You think about back to last year, how many times versus tight coverage we were able to make plays on the outside. I mean, it was a lot, as many as I've ever probably been a part of. And continuing to develop that ability to win ties out there on the perimeter, to me, is going to be important, because everybody's going to be able to run. I mean, you can't just run by everyone, and there's going to be some technique involved. And the way we teach it from the quarterback perspective is to give those guys a chance to catch the ball. We do not want to overthrow the ball. So continuing to take some steps on the outside, I think, will be good, and will help those three quarterbacks play better. And we said when we started that, my biggest concern wouldn't be the development of our quarterbacks as much as it would be, can we surround them with guys to win ties and go make plays so that he's productive.
David.
Justin, you had the one turnover today. Was that a miscommunication between Patterson and Hooker?
It was Hendon. It was an in and an out route, and I don't know if we didn't get the signal or what, but Hendon threw it inside, and Phil was doing what he was supposed to be doing, and Hendon threw it inside. And I don't know if it was because he didn't get this. I don't know the reason for it, but yes, it was a miscommunication.
And then from your vantage point, I don't know how good of you, did you think those were good calls on Brandon on the DPIs?
Oh, sure. No, I don't know. Like, I have no idea. I'm behind it. I can't see anything. Did you? Do you think they were good?
Especially the last two.
You thought they were good calls? Yeah. So I don't know. We'll have to look at it, but I couldn't see.
I know you didn't set it up like this, but you glad to see Joey Sly show off his leg a little bit today?
Yeah, it was cool that it worked out there. There to end the first half, that he got to kick a big one. We know he's got a big leg. He's continuing to work on his operation time and getting all that worked out, but it was pretty cool.
Right side of your offensive line, obviously, new guys. What did you think about the way they held up against the rush and that development?
Well, I think we're going to have competition over there. I mean, Parker didn't play this spring. He's coming back for his senior year, and I know he wants to play. So I like the way the guys on the right side approached the spring. I'm looking forward to getting our full group in there and letting them go compete to see who makes us the best.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, the first team defensive line looked like they got a ton of pressure up front, at least in the pocket. I know you don't have a lot of depth there, but are you confident about the top line guys on the D line?
No, I feel good about the inside guys. We've got a lot of work to do on the edge. Our two starting defensive ends weren't out there today. We've got a lot of work to do with all those guys to bring them along.
Coach, how different is this spring for you now that you've been here a year, you've been through a season, you're not sitting in a press box wondering what you're going to evaluate in the spring? What feels different?
Well, I certainly have a better feel for what we have. I think the operation of it all is a little bit smoother. Nobody's doing anything for the first time in terms of the way we want to do things, but the teaching doesn't change. I mean, you're continuing to try and teach the same things on a daily basis. So in that way, it's similar, but it always makes it a little bit easier when everybody kind of knows what to expect.
Last one, Ricky.
With so many guys missing this spring, do you still get a lot out of the spring, even though you can't really evaluate so many guys who are missing time, or do you feel like you still get is this still as valuable as maybe other springs?
Well, I don't know. Would I prefer to have everybody out there? Sure. But that's just not the situation. So we deal with the situation we have, and we get to work for the guys that are out there, because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, we give the exact same amount of reps to our twos that we give our ones for a reason, because the twos end up playing during the season. So, I wish, I'm happy that they're all going to be back, that they're all going to be ready to go in the summer and run and lift and do those things. But we still got good work. We still got better, with some of those guys that now maybe we'll have some confidence to go compete for a starting job versus some of the guys that were out.
Coach, thank you.
You bet.
Coach is going to jump back for radio.